Okay, so let's take a look at some probability concepts. We'll keep it high level for now, but probability has a bunch of words that if you've never seen them before, it can become a little bit daunting. So let's just make a list of some of these words here. Something called a random variable, and outcome, and event. Okay. Mutually exclusive, exhaustive event, so I think it's a mutually exclusive event, and it could be mutually exhaustive event. I'm not sure. Looks like there's 3 different types of probability. There's empirical, and you'll probably need to know the difference between empirical, subjective, and a priori. Odds. Odds is a good word. Conditional probability. What is conditional probability? Looks like there's some multiplication rules and some addition rules for probability. Dependent and independent events. So there's 2 different types of events here. What is the difference between a dependent event and an independent event? You'll notice that connection back to event. Unconditional probability. So we have conditional probability. So the opposite would be unconditional probability. And look, there's a total probability rule. So here's another rule in here. Give it. Well, there's probably more than one. Expected value. Okay, let's put that up here. Variance. Just terminology. Standard deviation. If you can overcome the terminology, then, or nomenclature, then you can continue your journey of learning. Conditional expectation. Alright. Now here's expected value. So let's put expectation to the left of that. Probability tree. Expected value again, variance again, standard deviation. Oh, we got a new one here, covariance. So let's put that one by variance. Correlation. Okay. Correlation. Now this is financial related, so I'm going to keep it high level, probability concepts. The joint probability function. Okay. I don't think there's any other functions, so I'll add it on its own. Now here's a Bayes formula. Okay. I do know about different types of problems, and it looks like here's a counting problem. Okay, here's 3 different concepts. We have a factorial concept, a combinatorial or combination concept, and a permutation. Okay, so let's keep going here. Random variable, probability, mutually exclusive event, exhaustive event, relative frequency of occurrence is an empirical probability. Now here's empirical here. So that's interesting. Relative frequency of occurrence is empirical probability. I think each one of these are empirical probability. Subjective probability, a priori probability. Subjective. The logical basis is related to the a priori. Probability of an event. Don't know what this is. The Dutch book theorem. Sounds like its own thing. Unconditional probability. We got that one. Unconditional probabilities are also called marginal probabilities. So if you hear marginal probability, think unconditional. But these are in 2 different paragraphs, so you might have to study that one. Multiplication rule. Joint probability. Now we got joint probability function. There's probably a function for everything. Joint probability. Addition rule. Independent. Addition rule. Independent event. Total probability rule. Okay. Mutually exclusive or exhaustive. Mutually exclusive. Or I'm going to group these together here. Okay. Probability weighted average. Seems interesting. Put it up here. Kind of metric. Possible outcome. Now see, this just says outcome. You know what? I like that. Knowing the difference between a possible outcome and maybe a non-possible outcome. Variance. Okay, we've got that one. Expected value. We got that one. Dispersion. There we go. Dispersion about the mean. Now, those aren't in here, but there's 3 things. There's the mean. And they're kind of related, the mode and the median. And we'll revisit those later, hopefully. But they are kind of related, so keep that in mind. But then variance is related to dispersion and standard deviation. Covariance is a measure of the co-movement between random variables. We got random variable, but what is the co-movement? But it's related to covariance, so let's stick it right here. Co-movement. Okay, there's the covariance function sign. Now there's something called a linear relationship. I'll create that. There's like a weak linear relation and a strong linear relation. So there's probably different types to all these things. Now that would be financial related with the portfolio. Independent. Independent. Do you see independent over here? It's kind of, we see joint probability, but independent, that's kind of an important one. Let me add that. Versus dependent. So I guess I should add the other one too. Get rid of the IN at the beginning. Bayes formula. I thought we got Bayes formula. There it is. Multiplication rule, counting problem. Multinomial. That's a good one, but it says multinomial formula. So let's put it here by the Bayes formula. Because here's another one, combination formula. Stick this guy down here. Combination formula. The relationship would have to do with correlation, so let's stick him up here. Oh, here's another one, permutation formula. Alright, so that's what this particular author recommends as concepts relating to probability. So let's see if we can organize them just a little bit. And we can definitely add to this. But that is clearly a good start. What I'd like to do is I'd like to maybe move this guy down here. Alright, so how many concepts do we have? We have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 21, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, 42, 44, 46. So I've got 46 here. Maybe I'm off, but anyways, 40 plus probability concepts.